Folks, what you are witnessing now is XRP history in the making. Not only are we going to a new all-time high, I believe that we will be pumping over 145% with our conservative targets being a $7 XRP, and I'm looking for us to achieve this in the next 56 days. So please stay tuned. We got a full breakdown, and we got to acknowledge that 2 years ago, speaking of history, we got the ruling from Judge Torres on July 13th, 2023, that XRP was not a security. Now, here we are 2 years later, still waiting for this case to officially wrap up, with the SEC due to drop their appeal any day now. Another catalyst that's going to shoot XRP up. And what's crazy is we're only about, I think, 40% away from a new all-time high. 145% is the rally that I'm anticipating to at least a $7 XRP. But it's likely that we're going to be going a lot higher. Everything's at ZachRector.com. Let's get straight into the update. Couple data points that I want to share with you before we get to crypto. We have the markets that will be reacting to the EU-Mexico tariffs as the futures market open up this Sunday afternoon and into Monday. I'm not expecting much of a pullback. Our markets are already desensitized to tariffs. We get the CPI lie on Tuesday, producer price index lie on Wednesday, retail sales data Thursday, consumer sentiment on Friday, with a total of 12 Fed speakers this week. Buckle up. It's going to be a big one for the markets and especially for XRP. Now, I found this to be very, very interesting. I want to get your guys' take. Let me know what you think about this one. California Representative Ro Khanna to introduce an amendment that will force a vote demanding the full files be publicly released. I'm not going to say the name. You know what I'm talking about. In this scenario, Speaker Mike Johnson would have to call a vote that would put every single member on record. I like it. I like it a lot. What do you guys think? You know, I just got to comment real quick. The only thing that makes sense to me with this whole thing is that this is how you bring Democrats and Republicans together, and you basically, assist them in exposing. I'm just going to leave it at that. Right? It doesn't make any sense to me. Trump does not get put on Mount Rushmore. Trump does not go down in history in any sort of good light. In fact, this would be the end if this is actually how it plays out, because people are not accepting it. People want the truth. You know my position. I've been saying it for years. Let all truth be revealed. I don't care what the consequences are. I don't care who gets exposed, left, right, up, down. We need the truth. And it appears to me that this has been a play to get Democrats, Republicans, everybody. You know, it's not coming from Trump, the big bad guy. It's going to be their own doing. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. We're watching it very closely. Now, into crypto and into XRP specifically, because this is the XRP bull run. Make no mistake about it. We got data to back it up, from attention, from volume. It's all there. From ROI, you bet. And what's happening now is the exchanges are having to top up their XRP. 25 million XRP transferred from an unknown wallet to Coinbase. You bet. You're going to be loading it up. Now, what's interesting is that we've seen the activity in Korea, and particularly the exchange Upbit, has been off the charts, literally. Record-breaking flows and volumes on Upbit out of Korea. I mean, really, this rally back up to $3, we can attribute mostly to Korea. We've been watching the order books. Binance, Coinbase have been net outflows. Meanwhile, in Korea, it's just been billions and billions of inflows. But what's interesting here is that Ripple actually partnered up with BDAX to expand institutional crypto custody in South Korea. This is just one of many partners in the region, but BDAX Korea will use Ripple custody to provide secure infrastructure for XRP, ROUSD, and other crypto assets, supporting institutional adoption, XRP ledger developer growth, and Korea's evolving regulatory landscape, a major step in advancing the on-chain economy in the region. You want more data to show us here how much the Koreans love XRP? And this is retail. We're going to show you retail right on Upbit, but we also have institutions in Korea that have a favorable regulatory landscape. They're stepping in, and Ripple's already been dominating in the APAC region up until now. South Korea, it's only going to expand from here. From a retail perspective, though, XRP continues to outpace every other coin, even on a slower weekend. From X-Force Global, you guys have heard me mention this guy. He's from South Korea. Really value his perspective. He says it's now trading at 3x the combined volume of Bitcoin and Ethereum on Upbit. These guys don't care about Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't either. I don't blame them, right? But this is three times the combined volume of Bitcoin and Ethereum on Upbit. They have no interest in other coins. It's seemingly, right? In fact, Bitcoin and ETH is declining in volume as XRP remains the same. Korean exchanges are 100% retail driven. Now, it's interesting because, Chad Steingraber, he's been capturing some of the order book flows for us. I've been sharing his posts. And he believes that this is on-demand liquidity from BDAX and other institutions because the swings have been massive. And so it has to be, either just big investors, big money showing up on the exchanges, or we are starting to see some institutions tap into Upbit's flows because the flows of liquidity on Upbit have been tremendous. I mean, if that's retail, that's impressive. The Koreans are bringing money into XRP right now. Whether it be institutions, retail, a little bit of both, the flows are coming and they're not stopping anytime soon, folks. Check it out. Blockchain backer. Why are Bitcoiners so focused on throwing shade at XRP only? Because it's reemerged as a threat. Yep. And it really is it's the only crypto, in my opinion, that has given Bitcoin a run for its money. People forget that we actually flipped Bitcoin to become the number one crypto by market cap in 2018 for a brief moment before CoinMarketCap rug pulled the exchange data out of, guess where? Korea. That's right. So that was more manipulation back in 2018. Fast forward to 2025, the Bitcoiners are still fighting it. Why? Because we are the real threat. And it's not that we don't like Bitcoin. It's not that we're rooting against Bitcoin. We're rooting for Bitcoin. Send it to 200,000 this bull run. Let that liquidity flow in. I know where it's going to be rotating because I'm watching it rotate right now with XRP and Bitcoin leading this rally. While XRP was a non-concern to Bitcoiners for years, XRP is suddenly threatening Bitcoin for the attention economy right on the heels of the same amount of Google search volume. What are people looking at? What are people interested? What are people buying? It's not even close. Not just in Korea. This is happening on Google worldwide. This is happening in America. Yesterday, when I woke up, I checked the Coinbase volumes. XRP was in number one. We haven't seen XRP in the number one volume spot on Coinbase since we were back above $3, approaching a new all-time high. Lock in, please. Crypto Michael, XRP just broke out of a falling wedge against Bitcoin on the daily chart, and you're still bearish? Higher. This XRP Bitcoin chart is a thing of beauty. Massive breakout, explosion about to happen. It's underway right now. Please be prepared. Peter Brandt wasn't prepared. Now he's having to come and you could just, I'm not even going to read his post. For those of you guys who don't know, this is a guy, he's been around for decades as a trader. He's one of these trader guys playing with this chart. And he showed a head and shoulders pattern on XRP. It was going to come back down. Just like all those guys that said, you better not be greedy. Take profits now at $1.90. We have to go back to 80 cents. Peter Brandt was in the same club. He didn't put his money where his mouth is, though, from what I've seen. I didn't see him place a short on XRP. These guys like to put out little charts, put out a little FUD. Where's your XRP short at? I short Bitcoin. I put my money where my mouth is. I short Bitcoin and I go long XRP. Peter, what happened to the head and shoulders? He has had to reverse course. And he says, chart lesson for idiot trolls. He is mad. These guys are pissed off about having to report that they were wrong. One, about XRP. And two, that it's going to continue a lot higher. But they can't talk about, $7 and $8 like we're going to talk about later. They won't dare talk about double-digit XRP. For them, it's, okay, I admit XRP's going up to a new all-time high, but I'm only going to give you $4. That's where these guys are at. And I'm just laughing. This is hysterical to me. This is hilarious. Charts are always morphing. These guys always got an excuse, don't they? Don't they? Oh boy, I'm going to skip down. Following the April false breakout, the chart has formed a dramatic and highly rare continuation compound fulcrum that has the implications for XRP to trade at $4.40. I love it. I love the crazy TA terms. It just makes my day. This is a highly rare deal. Okay? A highly rare continuation compound fulcrum. How about that? I should have put that as the title and thumbnail. People would have been like, what the hell is he talking about? I better check out this video. Peter, I'm glad that you're joining the party. I hope that you got a bag. I hope you're on the ship with us. Our ship is leaving the storm. We got nothing but blue skies, and headwinds have shifted to tailwinds, and $4 is not the end of this journey, Peter. I don't know what sort of rare anomaly you're going to see on the chart, but it's coming. Oh boy, I hope they're ready. Speaking of playing around with charts, well, you guys know me. I consider myself a doofus moron when it comes to technical analysis and drawing pictures on charts. Because I like to put out that disclaimer to say that I'm not an expert by any means. But yesterday, in our Discord weekly call, beforehand, I cleaned up my XRP chart and I wanted to really hone in on time frames and price targets for XRP over the next 30 to 60 days. And I believe that in the next 56 days to be exact, out from between here and September 7th, we are going to see XRP definitely at an all-time high. And I think that conservatively, we will see that $7 to $8 target. I watched Waters Above Crypto, and his target of $7 to $8 matches up perfectly with my target that I set back in September of last year when I first, I updated my XRP exit strategy last September. Now, I just am updating it once again. Thankfully, thank God, I have a little bit more XRP from trading the meme coins. And so I won't have to sell much of my long-term XRP holdings. I'm just going to be holding it through this cycle. I have some XRP that I can trade with, though, from the memes. And so I'm adjusting my strategy right now. And now that we have more data, now that we've moved further along on the timeline here, we can really hone in on our targets and our time frame. And when my, when my doofus moron analysis matches up with guys like Waters Above Crypto, blockchain backer, I really like this X-Force Global guy out of Korea. I've shown some of Cassie trades here lately. When my doofus moron charts match up and my analysis matches up with what they're seeing, I feel very confident in telling you what I'm about to share here next, which is that XRP is on its way to an all-time high. We very well could do that this month. We could do it this week, honestly. And I'm going to show you my targets and the timeframes right here. Now, if you want the full breakdown, my Discord weekly call is recorded. It's available on Patreon. Or if you want to just join our community, you can go ahead, sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. But if you just want to watch yesterday's Discord call, it is available on Patreon. And just that video alone has a lot of alpha in it. Targets on XLM, XRP targets and timeframes. And then I also went into how I'm going to use the XRP Ledger DEX to also trade and take profits on XRP this bull run. Okay. But here's the tweet that I put out. I was kind of messing around. I like to troll a little bit when I post my charts because I know the TA gurus like to pick it apart and make all their jokes. But so I said, cleaned up my XRP chart. And I thought this was a pretty funny Brad Whiff hat. What are these, targets for ants? I got the moon phase indicator, the little dots. It does look like a little trail for ants. Yep. Now, here's the full chart. And what you'll see here is the vertical lines are for the dates, and the purple boxes are the targets that I'm expecting. So I give myself a window of time, and then we also give ourselves a window as far as price action. Okay? And so let's go to the chart here, and I'll show you my first target. So I think that we have a 145% pump to $7. That's with ease. So if you think you're late on XRP, well, yeah, I mean, you obviously buying under 50 cents, $1, $2 would have been better. But even if you hop in today, I mean, you still have an upside opportunity that's nothing to complain about. And that's a conservative target, 145%. But we're watching right now. And you guys are going to think I'm crazy for my moon phases, but I got that from Waters Above a few years ago. Ever since he showed me that, I've applied that esoteric indicator to our doofus moron charts, right? And so what we're looking at right here is we just had a full moon, and we've seen bullish energy come in for XRP around the full moons, and we've seen bottoms and downturns around the new moons. So we have a full moon that we just had. Sure enough, XRP pops up to $3. Little pullback, consolidation, and now we're at $2.84 right now as I record this update. We have a new moon coming in on July 24th. So after that new moon comes in, between then and the full moon of August, which is August 9th, is when I'm expecting XRP to go up between $4 and $5. So we have a price range and we have a window of time. Okay. And I actually extended my purple box out a couple days past that full moon of August, because as you see, the full moon, I think, was on July 10th, and we topped out the next day, July 11th, and we're still climbing. So, despite the full moon being on August 9th, I extend my purple box out a couple days. And my first target, our first stop here on the journey, is going to be a $4 to $5 XRP. And I think it comes in by the end of July into, basically August 12th, 13th. By then, I think that we'll see the first half of August, $4 to $5 XRP. Okay. Now let's zoom out from there. Where are we going next? $7 to $8 is the conservative target the Waters Above shared. And so we're looking, he actually gave the dates here, that would be the new moon of August 23rd into the full moon lunar eclipse of September 7th. Remember, millionaires don't study astrology, billionaires do. So we want to understand their plan. We want to understand how they operate. We apply that to our analysis, and it's been interesting. The correlation has been so spot on, going all the way back here to November, December, when XRP started its real rally. So the next targets that we have here, $7 to $15 XRP, and that would be between August and September 7th. So how's it going to play out? I mean, we might hit the box, it might, hit the box, come down, make its way there. But eventually, I think between now and September 7th, we are going to see that $7 XRP come in, and the upside, potentially even $15. By the way, this is not the end of the bull run. If we finish off like we've done in previous 4-year cycles, we would actually have another top come in, a full wave 5 extension. This would just be wave 3. If you're counting the Elliott waves, this is wave 3 of 3, the most aggressive. So we're either going to be, $7 to $10, maybe even up to $15. Wave 4 is a correction, but then we finish off, and that's where I think we would see the $20 to $30 XRP in November to December. Maybe it even drags out into January. And this bear market's going to be a lot different for XRP because of the institutional adoption in the ETFs that are coming in. Now, I don't believe that it'll stop XRP from having, a big 50% drawdown. If it goes up to $30, comes back down to 15, as a 50% drawdown that could happen within a couple weeks after we top out. So it's going to come and go very quickly, which is why I would encourage you guys to get tapped in with our Discord community. We're going to be directly over the target. I'm going to be telling everybody how I'm playing this thing in real time. I don't give anybody financial advice. I just show people how I'm moving. So you can take that and with everything else that we provide in the Discord group, and you can be ready for what is coming. I would highly encourage you guys to get your exit strategy ready to go on all of your positions. If you're just going to hold all your XRP, that's great. God bless you, which is one of the reasons why XRP is going a lot higher. Comment down below and let me know if you're not selling XRP under $50, because there's a lot of you. There's a lot of you. And even myself, most of my long-term bag, I'm not touching it all either. I'm going to be borrowing against it. But let me know in the comments down below who's not selling any of their XRP, who's not selling any under $50. This is part of the reason why XRP is going to go so high, and the supply shock is incoming for XRP sometime in the next year, I believe. And, it could get pretty dramatic here over the next 60 days as we watch XRP go up $7 to $15. This is it. This is the bull run. Your altcoins are going to follow suit. XLM and others, very bullish. But just have a plan, be prepared, and stay locked in with us, okay? Everything's at ZachRector.com. I also got quick links in the description down below. If you want to learn how to trade futures, I got the Basics 101 of Futures lesson linked up down below. We're going to have some new XRP family merch dropping this week as well, so stay tuned for that. I appreciate your support. Tap it on the way out for us if you appreciate what we're doing, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.